All right, welcome to today's weekly call. Um, Sorry I'm late, y'all. We're gonna drop your whatever you would like to review in the chat, and that's what we'll go over. I see I see US 30 and NAS first, so let's start there.
Can we not start with me first? I'm sorry. It's only because I'm trying to get in the house so I can get on my computer. I, I
Okay,
had. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and start with it just so I can get through the call.
Uh,
Um, and then if you have any questions, you can definitely once you get in the house.
okay. I'll share
Okay.
my chart as soon as I can get in. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna be sharing the chart anyway. So, so based on the weekly, as always, let's do our top-down analysis. Um, Once I zoom out, of course, there's no kind of comparison to see where price um is going, or well, yeah. So, based on the weekly, we see that we had a break of structure here, and then we've had the change of characters here, right? So you had a change of character here, and price pulled back to the supply zone and sold. All right. So now we have a break of structure here. So I would be expecting price to pull back to this supply zone. Okay. So let's go down to the daily chart. Based on the daily, it did not, or did it? Or did it? Based on the daily, price did break this high. Um, So I would need to see price break this swing low if if it was going to sell. But based on this high breaking this high, I would be expecting price to pull back to somewhere in here and cover that low. Now, of course, we're on the daily. So to narrow down that zone, I would be looking for, I would just narrow it down to, and I'm trying to find, let's go to the 15-minute. All right, so we have a demand zone here on the 15-minute. I'm just going to go to the 5 to make sure there's not something. Okay, so yeah, so this is where I would be looking to buy from. Let's see, this one has already been mitigated. So I would look for price to come back to this zone here. I would cover this low for the buy up. And if I'm looking at this move right here, if we fib that move, okay, magnet, you could driving me crazy. Okay. So if I fib that move, that is around the 88. So I would be looking for price to come somewhere between the 78 and 88 before buying back up. That's what I see for US 30. So If I'm looking at current price, um, and let's go to the 4 hour, I would be looking at this being the break of structure, this being the swing high, and this being the swing low. Okay. So price has currently pulled back to, let me go down in time frame and see if I can find a, um, you have liquidity here. So I would be looking for price to pull back into this zone right here, this supply zone here, and then start selling back down. So that would be the trade that I would look for the week. Now, of course, if,
What time frame is this?
huh?
What time frame is this?
This is the 1 hour.
Okay, okay.
If price breaks below this low right here, then I would be looking for, if price breaks below it, I would be looking for a pullback to then sell down. But I would need to see price close below it. But from what I see, price has tapped into a demand zone. So my thought is that price is going to keep buying up. For me,
Price really.
I would need to see
Go
it
ahead.
break this high, pull back, and then push back up. Or if you want to, if you, I don't, this is some internal stuff, but it is an order block. So if it violates the order block, then I would be looking for the pull. I would consider looking for the pullback for the continuation to the upside. So I would definitely wait for a price to either break this low or break this high.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Yeah, because I was bearish, but clearly, yeah,
Price is
I
bearish,
was.
but you have this break of structure, so you should be looking for price to pull back.
Uh,
And this is where I would be looking for price to pull back to. Again, there's liquidity here. Um,
mhm.
I would definitely look for price to pull back to this supply zone to then continue selling down.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Um, I, I don't have to go. I mean, you could just. I don't have to share my chart.
No,
Could you
yeah,
just?
yep. Um, Next was NAS 100. NAS. Okay. So if we look at the weekly, same thing for the weekly price. Broke structure here. So, and then price turned around and gave a change of character here. So I would have marked up based on the weekly, the supply zone. All right, now I'm going down to the daily. If I'm identifying my structure, we have this break of structure here, which means we have this swing low here. So I would need to see price break this low. Same thing with US 30. I would need to see price break this low, pull back, and then continue. So if I go down to the 4 hour, and of course this is the swing high. Price is currently has currently broke internal structure, but hasn't broken this internal swing right here. So again, for me, I would need to see price break this swing low, pull back, and then continue selling. So, and then based on the 1 hour, you have this internal structure here, which shifted structure. It pulled back to a supply zone. And this would be the low. So if price breaks this low, then I would be looking for the next supply zone. But as of right now, as you can see, price broke internal structure. So it could be pushing up as well, like US 30 on the 1 hour time frame. And it could be pushing up into this imbalance. As you know, I don't trade imbalances, so I would just be looking for it to push up into here maybe, and then sell below these lows to then push back down into here, or sell down here, push back up. All I know is, and because I'm not gonna trade the middle, I just know that this is my swing low that I would be looking for price to close below, and this is my swing high. So everything in between, I don't even bother with.
Okay.
Any
I
questions?
appreciate you so much.
You're welcome.
No, I don't have any. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, what's next? GBP USD. GU. All right. So let's go to the weekly. Let's look at the full picture. So we had this swing low, higher time frame swing low, which would end a break of structure. So this was our swing high, and this was our swing low. What's going on with my little magnet today? Okay, so price has tapped the 78, possibly up to the 88, right? So based on the weekly, based on structure, market structure, this is our break of structure. This is our swing low, and this is our swing high. So buy until you can't buy anymore, right? So if this sells down, it could continue pushing up to there is a supply zone up here. So it could continue pushing up to this zone here. However, if price, and let me go to the daily. If price sells down, if you're going to take this sell again, I'm not taking the sell. I wouldn't take the sell, but there is a demand zone here. And then I think on the it's either on the 1 hour or the 15 minute, there's also another demand zone. and then there's a demand zone here. So because price has broken internal structure, right? This swing right here, and has also made another market structure shift. So price is likely going to tap into this demand zone and buy up some more. That's possible. And then continue buying up to that high. Or if not that high, there's a supply zone right here. So this, if you're going to sell, I wouldn't get in the sell now because price is low. Price is already low. Like it would need to pull back a little more to sell down to here, which is about 50 pips, 53 pips. Um, but I definitely wouldn't get in a sell right now. Who asked that? Dominus. So yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, thank you. So you're going to go for a buy, right?
Huh?
Are you going to go for a buy on this pair if it were to be you?
If I were trading it, yes, I would be looking for the buy right now.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. But that's the demand zone idea, right?
Yep.
But sorry for asking, I'm not seeing any clear like inducements close to it.
Wait a minute, I can't, you're sounding muffled. Say that again.
I'm not seeing any clear inducements, like an inducement liquidity close to it.
That is liquidity.
Okay.
Wait a minute, what are
And
you saying? What are you saying?
I say I'm not seeing any clear liquidity close to it because close to the demand zone like that other block here. I'm not seeing any clear liquidity close to it.
You're saying you don't see any liquidity that's close.
Yeah, like an inducement liquidity.
So just FYI, I don't get into all of that. I just look for I'm a supply and demand zone trader based off of market structure. So whether it's going to grab liquidity or not. Now, I will say this, if I were to set a limit right here, what I'm going to do is cover this low. I'm gonna cover this low. I'm not covering this low or this low. I'm gonna cover this low. This is the protected low as of right now. Anything else is not so protected. So I would be looking to for a 3% trade.
Okay,
So if
okay,
it's so whether it grabs liquidity down here or whatever, I like I said, I don't it's that's too much for me to think about. Okay.
okay.
I just mark up my supply demand zone
Good.
and I set my limit and cover my low and then see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. Chef JPY. Chef JPY. Let's go to the weekly. Let's look to the left. Nothing. Let's look at structure. This is my breakup structure right here. My last breakup structure. So I'm looking at my swing low right here, which is now a market structure shift. So I would look for price to come into this zone, which is approaching very quickly. However, we also have this break of structure and this swing low on the weekly. So let's go down to the daily. Nothing has shifted yet. Let's go to the 4-hour. So currently this, I would need to see price break below this low here. Unless price pulls back into this little demand zone and give me another break of structure, then I would move that swing low there. And then I would need to see a change of character for the pullback and then the continuation to this low. Who asked that? Dylan. Dylan, that makes sense?
Yes, perfect sense. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's about 600 pips. All right. We say GA. GA. Let's go to the weekly. And we see that price is creating lower highs. I mean higher lows. My bad. So let's see. I see a break of structure here. This would be my swing low. I think Todd would look for this would consider that the swing low. I guess this could be a, let me go down in smaller time frame. Yeah, but I don't like it. Break of structure, swing low. Okay. So let me go back to the daily. If that broke structure on the daily, okay. And then price pulled back. So, and then pushed up. Okay. So I would need to see price break this low. As you see, price broke structure here. Price pulled back to that demand zone. Okay, cover that low. I don't think it took out the low. I don't think it did. Doesn't look like it. And it's looking like it's going bullish. However, as you can see on the daily, you have this break of structure. You have this swing low and this swing high. So let's go down to the 4-hour. So
Hello.
yes,
Hello.
who is that?
Uma, the eyes. Uh-huh. Me now. We just the reverse now.
Is that Andrew?
I see your call.
Is that
I
I think
Andrew?
he
think I try
talking. He
about you.
talking
I'm
to
not
his
getting what
family. I
to
think.
do.
Yeah, it's Andrew.
Andrew. Oh, hold on. I had to find him. Okay, there we go. All right. Um, so there is a 4-hour supply zone here. Let me go to the 1-hour. I would narrow that down to here. And let me go to the 15-minute. Make sure there's nothing up above. So as of right now, this is the This is the supply zone that I see. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably around the um 78. So I would need to see price current based on current price. We have a break of structure, you have your swing low, you have your swing high. Okay. So price could pull back to this demand zone and keep pushing up to this zone. And then once price got here, I would look for a change of character. So for the week, I would definitely look for a buy unless you trade your unless you're trading the back and forth. Um, and it may not even come back here because there's a demand zone right above it, right? And that's why I don't recommend trading the pullback. Because it could tap into this order block and keep pushing up, and then that would change your structure. That would then change your structure. So as your structure is forming, then you can just move your zones, and then once you see a market structure shift, if you see a market structure shift, then I would trade it back down to these lows. There is still some demand zone down here, so I would definitely be looking for price to possibly come down here. Because price broke structure. Price broke structure. Pulling back to the 78, possibly, and then selling back down again to this low or this demand zone. Any questions on that? Leave that there. One of the two. Who asked for GA?
Me. Yeah, I got it.
Rain, hey, Tama. Okay. Um, nothing else. That was it. That was it. Well, that was quick. Going once, going twice.
Did you go over GU already, Kim? I don't know if you did or not. I put my pairs inside the group, but I'm gonna have to catch the recording because I didn't. I
No, I didn't. Did I do GU? No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. I did do GU.
okay, if you do it, you did it already. You don't have to do it again. I'll catch the replay.
Okay. Anything else? I'm surprised I don't hear certain pairs being gone. But if y'all
Can we
don't,
look at the JPYs like EJ, GJ?
yeah.
You might have went over GJ, but EJ and UJ.
I haven't. EJ, based on the weekly. We had some shift in structure. Price is pushing back up. Well, I'm 50-50 on the shift in structure. So I see this break of structure here, all right? But then I also see this here, this break here, which makes this the swing low, which means that was a shift in structure. So I know most of everybody is looking for the pullback into this imbalance. I would be looking for price to come back up here.
Can you fib that down move and see where that imbalance falls on the fib?
The imbalance falls between the 618 and the 78.
Okay.
Yep. So once I go down in structure, wait a minute, hold on. Let me go back and mark up the imbalance. Okay, once I go down in structure, based on the daily, this is the breakup structure. Based on current price, that's the swing low. So I would need to see, and then if I go down to the 1 hour, you have this internal structure. This internal structure, swing low, and this is the current swing high. So if price pulled back and broke this swing low, then I would be looking for the sell at least back down to this demand zone.
How many pips is that?
So if we break here, I'm just gonna mark it up from this pink zone. 145 pips, 150 pips. And if it goes all the way to the low, 177 pips.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. You said EJ, and what was the other one?
Maybe UJ. I'm trying to look at my charts to see what I had UJ doing.
UJ. Oh, here it is.
I think I'm trying to sell the retracement on the weekly order book.
On the weekly, you're selling the retrace? This push down?
Yeah, like when it grabs the highs, I'm looking to sell it to the 50% of that bullish order block. And that's like 100 pips. I probably won't take this trade, but it caught my eye.
Okay. Same thing with UJ. I know I think we talked about this one on the call last week. Like this was the or not last week, but or maybe I talked about it with the other group. Never mind. This was the weekly swing price. I would have been looking for price to pull back into this supply zone. It
How
did.
many pips is it from where price is now to your zone?
It is 312 pips.
Ooh, that's a whole trade. Okay.
Yep. So there we go. Okay, so and then we have this weekly bullish order block. So I would definitely be looking for price to pull back and then buy up.
Yeah, I think Todd is, or he was, bullish on the JPYs. So that actually sounds like that makes a lot of sense.
And if I went down to my 1 hour zone. So somewhere in this zone, I would be looking for price to pull back to, whether it's going to be to this demand zone or pull back to this demand zone.
And from where price is, or from the high to those green lines, how many pips is that?
From here,
Yeah, let's say price buys up and takes that high. So if I got in at the high and I sold it down to, what is that, 144.11? Your
Um,
green line.
well, I will say, yeah, okay, gotcha. So I would need to see it break at least this low first, right?
Uh-huh. And then pull back
And then
for the
pull
sale.
back and for the sell. So to the top green line is 209, and if it continues all the way down, it's 297.
It seems high risk.
I would love to see it break this one first, though. If it broke this low right here first, because this was such a small pull, it wasn't really a pull pullback. If it broke this low, then I would expect it to push up, and then I would definitely sell it down to
Mhm.
these lows. I mean, to those demand zones.
Okay.
Mm,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Um, nope, you didn't miss gold. So let's go over gold based on the weekly. I definitely would not be buying gold. So you have this is your high, your current weekly swing high. This is your, I see this as the, now let me go in and do these little internal ones. So you have your structure here. A little pullback there, and then this high here.
Wait, you said you would not be buying gold?
No, it's too high to be buying.
No, I agree, but don't you always say buy till you can't buy anymore? And it's like still in the
But
uptrend.
it would have to pull back to, let me go to the daily. It would have to pull back to here.
Oh, for you to buy it.
Yeah.
So you're really just waiting on confirmation of the sale, and then you would be looking to sell this.
Um, yeah, I probably would be looking for the buy since it's bullish.
Oh, you sure? Right. You would
Yeah.
look for it to sell down to your buy entry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Now, based on the daily, based off structure, we have this break of structure, and then we have this swing low. So if price sold that low, then I would consider getting back in at this supply zone and then selling it at least to these lows somewhere.
I'm confused why you marked that high.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Why does that high mean anything when to the left those highs are higher?
Because I'm always marking up my swings, my
Okay.
market structure.
Mm-hmm.
So if price does not, okay, so price is already taken out that high. If it's not coming to take out that high, then it's going to start breaking structure to the downside for a pullback and then a continuation.
Right.
So based on my top-down analysis, I'm just looking at my last market structure. So if I go down to my 1 hour, right? So based on the 1 hour, this was still the high, that's the low. And then this was a high, right? And there was a break of structure there based on 1 hour. And then there was a market structure shift here. So because I only like trading my edges, I'm either going to wait for price to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Since it broke structure, I'd wait for it to pull back to there and then look for a shift for the sell. Or if price is going to come to this low, I'm waiting for price to come either at this demand zone, somewhere up in here, and then give me a shift.
So I can see why you marked that high when you drop down to the 1 hour.
Yeah.
But I was still a little confused from how you marked it from the daily. But I mean, I know you see it, right? I'm struggling to follow it.
Yeah, just because daily, that's the last structure move. This swing
I
high
guess. Okay, wait. So let's start over here at the bottom to the left, back in your zone at the bottom. That's your low.
right here.
Uh-huh, that's your low.
Mm-hmm.
Then you come up and you make a high.
Mm-hmm. So we had this, we pulled back,
Uh-huh.
we
And
made
then
this.
we
There was a little,
came.
there was a little pullback here,
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Okay.
and there was a little pullback here. And like I don't usually count all of those little
Right. So I would
pullbacks.
have counted that as your high, your swing high.
Which one?
That one where you
This
just
one.
left off. Yeah,
It is the swing high, but you have internal swings as well.
sure. Okay. Yep.
So these are the internal swings.
Yep. Yep.
So again, this could come back to this zone and buy up.
Yep. It could. Yep. I got you.
So yeah, that's how I'm seeing it.
Nope, that's
So
helpful. I think I missed the part that was the internal high, an internal swing high, and I think my brain just got stuck.
yep. And as you can see, there is an order block here, but on the daily, it's really already been mitigated. So
Mm,
for me, but on the 1 hour, there is this zone here, right? And then there is this zone here. So price could pull back to one of those two zones. And then if we fibbed that last up move, that's going to be the 78 or the 88. Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, you would need to either pull back here, show me a shift in structure to continue buying, or if it's going to come down, I definitely wait for confirmation because it's so high and price did not break this high. If it breaks this structure right here, then I would consider taking a sell down, back down to this this swing here. Mm-hmm. Who asked for gold? Walter, did that make sense? And as of current price, this was our breaking structure. This was our swing high. And this is the swing low, right? And although there was an impulsive move to the upside, it's still bearish. It's still in a bearish range. Let me just say that. So I would either be looking for price to pull back to this zone here to possibly continue selling. So it could come here, change character. And I think on what time I'm on the 1 hour. I think it was on the 15-minute. It kind of already, no, it didn't. So yeah, I would definitely wait for price to show its hand because it's either going to break this high, close above this high, pull back and continue buying, or it's going to come up here, give a shift in structure structure and then keep selling down to these lows. Because it's still bearish, I would need to see what it was going to do. And yes, there is a demand zone right here. So I would definitely look out for that. But if it doesn't break this high, then in my head, it's going to be bearish. All right, that's my thoughts on gold. Any other questions? Do, 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 do. Going once, going twice.
Kim.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I joined like maybe 15 minutes ago. But anyway, I'm a rewatch it.
Who is that?
It's Marcia.
Marcia. Oh, hey, Marcia. Sorry, I couldn't
Hi.
see who it was.
It's
Hi,
to, I'm,
Marcia.
it has nothing to do with trading, but um the 1111, I'm a numbers person. Is that something you just randomly picked or something was easy or
For the
was
for
for a
the
reason? Because no,
for the Zoom call.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something I just randomly. I always put 1111
Oh,
because when
okay.
they usually put a long number. I know it's 1111. I got you. No, I do that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's all.
Rogier put UCAD in there, Kim.
Oh, you can. Hey, Will, I didn't know you were on there. You can.
Yeah, how you doing?
You can. So you can. Um, Let me go to the weekly. And this wasn't the high. Let me hold on. Let me just delete everything. All right, for UCAD, we can see that. I don't think I looked at it on a weekly before because this would be the swing high. This would be the swing low. Um, and I think we talked about UCAD coming here last week and buying up, but looking at it from the weekly, I see that this is the last structure, right? So I would definitely be looking for the buy back up to this zone. So this was the breaker structure here. This is the swing high. This is the weekly swing low. So I would be looking for price to buy up to this zone and then possibly selling down. But there is yeah. Now, if I go to the 4-hour, structure is a little different. So we have this as the breakup structure, this as the swing high, and then we have this breakup structure, right? And then we have this swing high, and then we have this breakup structure. Oops, oops. So we have this swing high. Okay. So based off of that, price did break above this high. If I look at the current structure, which is right here, price would need to break this low. So as of right now, it's bullish. Y'all know the saying. Say it with me. buy until you can't buy no more. I would be looking for price to pull back and possibly keep buying up to um to these highs or even this weekly buy zone.
Can you go back to the weekly for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why did you not use the other one as a swing high?
What
The
this one?
top, the top one. Because then
I'm looking at current price. I'm looking at the last current swing. This is the last current internal swing right here. Because I mean, there's no need for me to look at you talking about this one here?
yeah,
That is a swing high, right? But if I'm trying not to get, if I'm buying, I need to know where I'm buying to before it could possibly sell back down.
okay. No, I got you. I was just wondering why you didn't mark. That makes sense. I just
Yeah.
thought I was just tripping. Okay, I'm like,
No. This was
all right,
the higher time frame breaker structure here, lower swing low, and then this is the swing high.
okay. I was just making sure I wasn't tripping. I'm like, I know I ain't. Okay, all
No,
right.
no, you good, you good. So now I'm just looking at the current structure on the weekly. So again, if we're buying, I would be looking to buy up here to possibly sell back down. Again, we have this is our swing low.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be looking for price if you want me to if you want to add the imbalance in there, but I would be looking for price to come into this zone to now um to then start buying up to this high because that's the higher time frame swing from
All right,
here
I got you.
to here to here. So yeah, so like I said, just if you just go down to this smaller time frame, the 4 hour or the 1 hour, and then look for the structure in there. Again, you can buy it up to here to possibly sell it back down. But it broke internal structure. It broke this what I saw as the internal swing high, more internal swing highs. Um, so I would be looking now if price closes above this high here, then I just move my structure. If price closes above this high, this last swing, then I would move my zone, which is from here to here. I would move it from here to wherever this high goes. But it would have to close above that high. And I don't normally look at like the sweep of a high or low. I just know that if price pushes down, it's probably going to push into the zone and push back up. So I just trade my swings. Trade my swings. Did that answer your question, Rogia? And I'm just gonna
Yes, it did.
add one. And if you want to take it to this imbalance to supply zone, you can take it there. Let's see how many pips from there to there is 126 pips, 130 pips to this high, 187 to this high is 344. All right. Anything else? Going once, going twice. All right, y'all. See y'all next time.
Thanks,
Cool,
Kim.
cool.
You're welcome.
Kim.
Bye.
Thank you.